Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This is going to be a video of meals that I made in just a little over a week. If you're new here, my name is Savannah. I've been cooking for pretty much my entire life, or at least as long as I can remember. And I just want to share with you guys some of the meals that I make in my kitchen. I don't cook from recipes most of the time, so unfortunately I can't really tell you exactly what I do, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless and get some good inspiration. So here I am making some pizza dough for a few nights from now. And essentially I just made the dough and then let it rest under a bowl for about an hour. Came back, stretched it, let it rest, came back, stretched it, and now I'm putting it in a container with some olive oil, putting a lid on, and gonna put it in my fridge for a couple of days until we're gonna make pizza.
She's a little stiff.
Is it frozen?
No, it's not frozen. I would just say stiff. Don't let them judge my pizza stuff. There's a hole right in the middle. Cut that part out. You want to request anything?
I don't care which side, but can you put a little more sauce on one side for me, please?
This looks very artisanal. I can never see this one. What would olive oil taste like on this?
Like good? Now or after? Yeah. It would be good. Do you want to do some olive oil? Yeah.
Sheesh.
You're good.
Okay. I don't know if I do, but...
Beautiful. That's okay. Any thoughts?
No, it smells like it's burning. But, no.
They did. Yeah.
Be hot. Ow.
Oh no.
Ouch.
My cheese.
Ouch.
All right, so it's probably the next morning. I honestly don't remember when I filmed this, but this is a recipe that I make fairly often. It's a eggless pancake recipe actually, but I use it to make waffles because Andy's favorite breakfast is waffles, and I probably make them about once a week. And one time when I was offering to make him waffles, I realized that I didn't have any eggs, so I just looked up a recipe online for eggless waffle or pancake batter, and I found one, and he absolutely loved it. He said it was the best waffles that I'd ever made for him, so this is the recipe that I make pretty much all the time, and I basically know it by heart by now. So I basically just made half of a recipe, and then I cooked up some bacon, and I served it with some strawberries. And then for myself, I just made a nice yogurt bowl with some Greek yogurt and some raspberries and blackberries, and then I cut up a few strawberries, and I did not feel like getting a cutting board out, so I just cut them up in my hands, which is, you know, maybe not the cutest looking, but it works, and it means that I don't have to clean a cutting board. And then I topped it with some granola and some peanut butter, and usually I'll just put some peanut butter in a bowl and pop it in the microwave for a couple of seconds until it's liquidy so I can drizzle it. Coda, come this way. Wait. Eat. That's all. All done. Something that I have been really craving lately since tomato season has come into swing and I am as pregnant as I can be in the middle of the summer is a really good BLT. So I've been making a lot of those lately, and I just cut up a really nice tomato, and now I'm putting some mayo and mustard on either side of my bread. And I like a whole grain mustard because I feel like it just gives a little bit of like a more sharp and deep flavor. And while that was happening, I was cooking up some bacon in the pan. I like to cut full strips in half because I feel like they cook quicker and they fit in the pan better and they fit on my sandwich better. And then I poured out the bacon grease from the pan and I put my bread and 2 slices of cheese, and I actually had chipotle cheddar and it was really good on this sandwich. Now I'm stopping for a quick iced coffee break. I've just been enjoying some iced coffee with some half and half, and that's pretty much it. And now back to the sandwich. Once the cheese is melted, I just take it out of the pan and I put on the bacon and the tomatoes, and I did a big old pile of lettuce, and that was it. It was so delicious, and sometimes a super simple sandwich really just hits the spot. Speaking of super simple sandwiches, something else that you're going to see that is the theme of this video is that I am pretty much eating tomatoes in like every single meal. I think that that's a recent craving of mine. So here I am slicing up another beautiful summer tomato with some fresh mozzarella cheese. I'm salting the tomato. And then I had a pack of croissants from Aldi, so I'm making the sandwich on that croissant. I went out to my basil plant and picked a few fresh leaves, and now I'm just gonna assemble the sandwich with some Japanese Kewpie mayo on both sides, put the tomatoes on, the mozzarella, and then I topped it with balsamic glaze. And I actually have a sriracha honey in my cabinet, so I put a little bit of that on there too, put the basil on top and threw it in the pan to toast, and it was so good. It got really messy in the pan, as you'll see, but it still tasted really, really good. Could I leave him alone? He's afraid right now. Oh no. Struggling over here.
Captain Wallace aware you were doing this?
He encouraged it. Now it is flourishing, which is why we have come to extract, sir.
Alright, so I'm gonna make like a salad with sliced tomatoes, and then this is white onion and green onion that I thinly sliced, and it's been sitting in some ice water to take like the bite out of it. I sliced these tomatoes and I sprinkled salt on them and put them on this paper towel and let them sit probably, I think, like 10 or 15 minutes ago. And now they're gonna be like really nice and flavorful because of the salt that was gonna be able to soak into them. So this is a breakfast that I made myself on the weekend. It was closer to brunch time and I wanted something that was gonna be a little substantial because I had a lot of stuff to do this weekend. So I threw some bacon grease in the pan and put some corn tortillas in there to brown. I put a little bit of refried beans on each tortilla and then some taco meat that I always keep in the fridge. I topped it with 2 eggs and then some pepper jack cheese, and I covered it so that way the eggs could cook and the cheese could melt. And this turned out to be a really delicious, quick breakfast that kept me full for a really long time. I am officially in my last month of pregnancy, and there's this like belief that if you eat a bunch of dates at the end of your pregnancy, it will make your labor go smoother. I don't know if it's true or not, but I figure why not try? Like, dates are really good for you. And I thought I didn't like them, but I actually am really enjoying them 2 different ways. So what I just did is I just cut them open and took the pit out, and I filled them with some strawberry goat cheese that I got at Walmart last week. That's one way that I've been doing them. I just added some balsamic glaze, so that's new, but I think it's gonna be really good. And then another way that I've been enjoying them is just splitting them open and filling them with peanut butter and sprinkling them with some kosher salt. But I'm gonna do a little like bark recipe a little later today with a bunch of the dates that I bought. So I'm having 2 of these right now. They say you're supposed to eat 6 a day. One of the things that I had to do this weekend was film a recipe video for the bakeware company that I create recipes and content for. So I am just making a sugar cookie bar recipe with strawberry icing. So I just did a very simple sugar cookie dough recipe, and I spread it into a 9x13 pan, and then I put it in the fridge for a little bit to chill, baked the cookie dough in the oven, and then I made a quick little frosting out of butter and powdered sugar, and I blended up some freeze-dried strawberries to add some natural flavor and color. And these things turn out so cute. I was really happy with the flavor and the texture and the way that they looked. So if you want to see the full recipe, I will link it when it comes out. so after making the cookie bars and doing some things around the house, I was pretty tired and I just needed a quick meal. So I am doing a tomato grilled cheese sandwich, and I just did some Kewpie mayo, some of that Chipotle cheddar cheese, and some sliced tomatoes. Covered those and let the cheese melt and the tomatoes get warm, and it was so simple but so delicious. Like I said, I've really been loving a simple sandwich, and I've really been loving tomatoes lately, so this sandwich really hit the spot. One morning this week, I got a weird craving for shakshuka. And so this definitely is not traditional shakshuka, but I wanted to make something like it. So I put some cherry tomatoes in a pan with some butter and a garlic clove and some za'atar seasoning and let that stew. I added a little bit of tomato sauce that I have made previously. I crushed the cherry tomatoes. I added some salt and pepper and let that sit for a little bit. And then I actually added some more tomatoes. I diced up a Roma and I added it to it, so that way I kind of have 3 different textures of tomatoes in there. And then I spread it into an even layer and cracked 2 eggs into this and covered it and let the eggs cook. And then I just served it with some toasted buttered bread, and this was such a delicious breakfast. I'm actually thinking about making this tomorrow morning because as I'm watching this, I just remembered how good it tasted. So, like I said earlier, there is this belief that if you eat 6 dates a day in the last few weeks of your pregnancy, that it's supposed to help your labor go smoother. So I have been wanting to try the date Snickers that I feel like every single person has seen and made on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So I basically just split open and pitted a bunch of dates, put them on a cookie sheet and flattened them out a little bit, covered them in a bunch of peanut butter and melted chocolate, and sprinkled some salt over top. And I put them in the freezer to let the chocolate and peanut butter harden up. And this is what they look like, and they actually turned out so good. That's pretty good. I've been seeing people do these for like years now on TikTok and Instagram. They were right. These are so good. I can eat 6 dates a day with these, no problem. Here we have the last recipe in this video. So I just made some couscous with some chicken broth, and now I'm making a quick little cucumber and tomato salad with some basil from my garden. I just chopped up the cucumbers and the tomatoes. I did a chiffonade on the basil, and I put some balsamic vinegar, some salt, pepper, and some dill in there. I mix it up and let it sit while I was cooking. This chicken I marinated earlier in the week with some balsamic, some mustard, some honey, and salt and pepper, and I let it sit. I think I marinated it the day before. And the couscous is done. It's super simple. You literally just pour the couscous into boiling liquid and then turn the heat off, and it's done in like 5 minutes. And then I added some sun-dried tomatoes to that and some chopped spinach, and just mix that up for a little bit of like a couscous pilaf kind of. And then I just finished cooking the chicken, and it turned out to be like a nice brown caramely flavor, and plated it up, and that was our dinner for that night with the cucumber salad as well.